Welcome to Think. How are you, everybody? It is Tuesday. How was your day? Today was very busy for me. And occasionally, I posted on my wall. Tonight, we are going to have a very fruitful discussion. And what I have realized is that evidence or truth is before certain individuals or before people or before St. Lucians, and they do not accept the truth. We are now going to take a coffee break. Now, we are back. As I said, the show, you support us by purchasing digital coffees to support the show. Because I am not your usual host or your usual talk show host. Because many people are expecting me to be dishonest, or many people are expecting me to turn a blind eye. My sweet people, my sweet fans, welcome to all of you on Facebook. Welcome. And to those on YouTube, welcome. Tell your friends, because I am one in a lifetime. Because many people fold. Many people bend. Many people run away. Because they do not have the mental fortitude or strength to speak the truth. And this is why I have started this new show, so you can be thinkers. Too many people in this small country are not thinkers. Let us take a walk across to our beautiful sister neighboring island of Barbados. They are thinkers. However, in this country, I want to see our country progress. I want to see it progress not only through infrastructure, but I want to see our country progress as a result of our change thinking, our mindset. People are behaving as if they are still in not before Christ. If I profess to follow the word of God, and if I profess to be a believer, why, when the truth is before me, that I must turn a blind eye and lie? Now, what I realize, and that is everywhere, globally. Hi to my Nigerian, my Pakistani friends, because I know they come to watch after Nigeria, Pakistan, India, and the UK. If I forget you, I'm sorry, so many of you. But if you, as I was saying, if truth is before me, our people in St. Lucia need to elevate, and I want to see change mindset. Now, let me tell you what is going to happen. And if you're trying to figure out where so is going, I am going to talk about St. Jude Hospital, because I do not believe anywhere in the Caribbean. I am subject to correction. So I have people from Grenada, Trinidad, Guyana, and all over watching me. Hi, Elvis. Elvis, tell me I need to come. Elvis, tell me I need to come to Grenada. Elvis, tell me they have a handsome, intelligent prime minister. I will come. Now, it is a shame. It is a shame that we are we the only people we're not thinking? People, stop getting vexed with so. Stop getting vexed with Soraya for coming and tell the truth. If you were operating at a high level in terms of your thinking, you would be able to see the message that I have been given to you. We are the laughing stock. We are the laughing stock of the Caribbean, and if not so, the world. How can we have administration after administration come in, waste millions of the taxpayers' money? I'm telling you this, but my heart is heavy. I must, really ask the Lord for strength. I cannot believe, my sweet people, from 2009 to 2022, we are yet to get a hospital for the people in the South. And this is why I want you all to think. And this is the difference with me and many people. I am loyal to truth. I am loyal to facts. Now, when the facts are presented to me, based on what I used to say before about the new hospital being built, and I exonerated Guy and Alan Chasney from taking blame, they are to be blamed just as the other prime ministers, King and Kenny, for not completing our hospital. I am saddened. I am irate. And the reason why I am irate is because we are a poor country. You have close to $300 million from 2009 to now wasted on hospitals. On a hospital. You know how many of our young people share the live. Tag your friends. This is the live you're supposed to tag your friends and share. Because I am not singing anybody's narrative. I err on the side of truth. Because if I don't err on the side of truth, I have no credibility. And imagine if new information came to me and I'm seeing this information is condemning the last administration in terms of the hospital. I have to say, we are the laughing stock of the Caribbean. My people, how do you all feel about it? Have you seen any Caribbean island in this mess we are in? I just cannot understand our people. If we as a people stand up for truth and honesty, if we as a people stand up for truth and honesty, we're going to have a better society. Tell me, Some of you who are aware or know the truth and you still supporting wrongdoing. And then when we have the criminals killing each other, stabbing each other, what you want to talk about? This is not the only crime. You too are helping others you support commit crimes. Why you think our society is like that? Why do you believe our society is like that? The young people are seeing, the criminals are seeing that we as adults are supporting wrongdoing irrespective. Oh, because I love that person. Oh, I love that person. I love that person. I love people to an extent where if the truth is presented to me and you were supposed to run my country, I will err on the side of truth. And this is why we are having this situation. Now, we have this new Prime Minister, Philip J. Pierre. He is in a tussle. He is in a serious tussle. And when he said that he was going, that's why I'm saying to y'all, YouTubers, Facebookers, share the live, talk to your friends. Many of you ran away because you know why? You treat a man as if he is a god. The only God I have is the one I haven't seen and the one who can just cut my life from me in an instant. And many of y'all ran away from the truth because we idolize people. I idolize no one. And the Bible also tells you, do not idolize anybody. So many people ran away. And you know, it shows me that our country is in trouble. Now, moving forward, the new Prime Minister, Philip J. Pierre, who I have given a lot of links. This is why I tell I'm a thinker. And when the facts presents itself to me, I change my opinion. So this new Prime Minister is saying that he will complete the old St. Jude Hospital. Not the monstrosity that Alan Chastanet and Guy Joseph built. He can't complete that. Now, I see why. And this is why people, sometimes God uses your enemies to open your eyes. When you believe your enemies are doing you wrong, they're doing you right. To open your eyes and to open the eyes of others. You'll need a Prime Minister as honest as Sir Alexander. When it's wrong, it's wrong. A Prime Minister who is not afraid to take the unpopular decision. So St. Jude affects all of us. We are the laughingstock people. So the new Prime Minister has said that he is going to complete the old St. Jude and not the new. Now, I was giving him legs and saying, but why? Think. When you're a thinker, your mind is always going. I was saying, but why is he saying that? Until he revealed information that we would have never known if he did not come into office. And also, y'all don't research. Stop bringing people down. Stop looking to get fame. Look at me. If I wanted fame, I would just be singing everybody's song. Ooh, get thousands of coffees, get gifts, get everything. I prefer get nothing and speak my truth. My truth carries my integrity, and many people don't have that. Many people cannot do that. A lot of people want to be accepted and validated. I validate myself. I accept myself. And there is a saying, I'm the shit today, tomorrow, and the day after. That is the level of confidence you must have in yourself as a person. You cannot believe that you are something because of somebody else. So I right now, I am understanding where the new prime minister is coming from. I gave him a lot of hell, but like I said, I'm always a fair person. And that is what we have to learn to do in life. And somebody said to me today, but so, when you change your opinion about how you felt about Alan Chasney and Guy Joseph and, said the thing, everybody ran away. Nobody picked up the phone or messaged you and said, okay, so why are you saying that? Give us your opinion. Because you know why? They worship a man instead of looking for truth and ensuring our country go forward. Never worship no man. And the Bible tells you that. Make no man your idol. They were worshiping him. If I was worshiping the man like that, I would still keep all the information aside and don't tell you anything. But this is not me. And I have always been somebody to be very unpopular in terms of speaking the truth. I do not need validation from anybody. I really don't. And let me tell you, this is why honesty lies with me. I could have been very dishonest, come here and sing your narrative and sing what you wanted me to sing and be very, your love so, your love so. Love is a 4-letter word. It has no meaning until you show the actions. So I was giving Philip J. Pierre licks and everything, but in terms of St. Jude's, I have to apologize to the Prime Minister, because you see the thing with Philip J. Pierre, and I heard somebody said that today, that he is not a talker. And all of us know that. All of us know that. He don't like to talk. He ain't doing press conference. He ain't telling us nothing. We know he's not a talker, but his actions prove that he's a very detailed man. His actions prove he's detailed. And I saw it when he said what he said in the House. Now, he wanting to build the old St. Jude, I am in agreement with him. And I'm not just in agreement with him because of he saying that. I also research. You must research, people. You must research. Because people, the monstrosity that Alan Chasney and Guy built, we can't use that, people, or we can't do anything yet. But I like to present facts and show you. You know how so is. Because this is why we have to think, people. Let us not be like barbaric people, not leaning to truth. Research. You have to think. You have to think. You have to think. Research, my people. We're going to take a coffee break. And when we come back, I'm going to show you some slides and some information. Yes, people, so the coffee, you can go ahead, buy the digital coffee. As I said, I prefer err on the side of truth, and than to have thousands of comments underneath this, thousands of views, and they're not even listening. They're not even listening to the message, or their mindsets are not even being changed. You have to think, and it's like a cult. I'm following one man. I'm following one man. They're falling over the precipice and they're still going. This is our country. We have to think. Irrespective of who leads this country, we have to think. And I am in big support of Philip J. Pierre going to the old. And I'll tell you why. And let's go to, I like to come with my receipts. Let's go to myth 1. Mr. Producer, you can take off the slide for now. Let me just give them a little preamble. You remember that Guy Joseph and Alan Chastain was saying that they could not have used the old St. Jude's like what Stephen King started, Kenny started. Stephen King did not manage the overseeing of the hospital in terms of Project Mine was done badly by him and Kenny. Now, what they did, Guy and Alan, they decided to hire this person to do a report. So what I'm going to be showing you, I am going to be showing you the report in summation of a renowned civil engineer in St. Lucia. Everybody know John Peters. And this is why I'm saying on Facebook, it depends on the content you choose to watch. Some of y'all choose content to watch or to view that degrades, denigrates, slander people. And our country is going plat down, platate. Because you know why? Not because of politicians, but because the people refuse to focus in the right areas. Now, myth one, and this is a summation of what this qualified engineer, John Peters, had to say. Myth one is the most recent myth that has been espoused by two former government ministers is that the unfinished structures started by the last administration, meaning the St. Lucia Labour Party administration, meaning the United Workers' Party administration, only required 6 months to be completed. So he went on to say this is simply not true, and the sad reality is that both former ministers are fully aware of this. Why proclaim these travesties of truth? I am going to read myth one for you again. And this is what I am saying to people. This is where you separate the stick from the backs. Because people just want to believe what they want to believe. If the information is presented to me by a qualified engineer who is not biased on either side, we have to think whether it's SLP or UWP, that is not biased on any side, we have to listen to him. And I think there is no reason why Mr. John Peters would be biased or have any gain in lying. And I do believe him. Right? You know, when the facts presents itself, we have to believe. Let's read myth one again. The most recent myth that has been espoused by two former government ministers is that the unfinished structures started by the last administration, meaning the United Workers' Party administration, only required 6 months to be completed. This is simply not true. And the sad reality is that both former ministers are fully aware of this. Why proclaim these travesties of truth? Now help me understand something. When I post on my page and I say those things and the facts are there, you'll come at me. You know why you come at me? We must learn to love our fellow St. Lucians in terms of truth. Don't love me to lie. Love me to tell you the truth. Y'all came at me. But here is the truth. You had two former ministers saying, Alan Chastain and Guy Chastain saying that when the St. Lucia Labour Party came in, that they should be able to complete the hospital in 6 months. A professional is saying that is not true. And he is saying that these two ministers are aware of that. So why proclaim these travesties of truth? And I love how he put it, travesties of truth. How can you do that? And then everybody, you know, it is sad. The messenger, Soraya Alexander, is causing you to think. But instead of you thinking, Your goal is to destroy the messenger. And for a man who has put our country in this crisis to be raised up as a God, my people, the world is laughing at us. We can't think, people. We cannot allow it, irrespective of which political party. We cannot allow it. Let us err on the side of truth. And I believe Mr. John Peters, because he's on no political side, he has a right to support who he wants. That's fine. But I love his honesty. Let us go to myth 2. Stay with me, follow with me, share the live, tag your friends. This is the live you're supposed to be sharing, and this is the live you're supposed to be tagging with your friends. Not people acting like they're crazy and doing all sorts of nonsense. This is the live. But you know why? They know the truth. But they're pretending they know the truth. But when you know the truth and pretend you don't know the truth, what's going to come for you is going to be great. So myth 2. The second myth relates to the usage of the structures that were completed before the last administration took office. So what he is saying, that when SLP left or lost the election, the UWP administration came in. So listen to what Mr. John Peters said. Y'all need to read and understand. Flow with me, stay with me, share the live, tag your friends, bring your friends to hear the truth. We must always think, let us err on the side of truth. It is okay for us to support who we want to support, but do not support blindly. Let us support on the point of truth, because the people that are going to be suffering in the long run are our children and their children and their grandchildren. Let us teach our young people to think, and even some of the older ones, they want to think. So the technical audit, as commissioned by the former Minister of Economic Development, which is Guy Joseph, was done by a consultancy firm that never built a hospital. And people are all over Facebook slandering Soraya, cursing Soraya, saying all manner of evil about Soraya because she's speaking the truth. Soraya will always speak the truth. Truth is my brand. We shall not lie. So the technical audit, as commissioned by the former Minister of Economic Development, was done by a consultancy firm that never built a hospital. The findings contained in the report were never subject to independent review. In fact, the technical audit was never presented in Parliament. Over the last 6 months, I have heard sections quoted as if they were holy scriptures. The suggestion that phase 1 buildings cannot be used to create a functional hospital is a myth. So hear this, people. I am one who is a very credible person. I am one, if I have done something wrong, it's never hard. My friends and people who know me will say, so is very firm, she's very hard. But if so do something wrong, she's the first to say, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. So if in my previous show, Lies and Deceit, I had ministers of government coming on my show and saying untruth, I have to come and clear my name and all the rubbish that was being said. Because we have a professional engineer in his report saying that the technical audit was never presented to Parliament. The technical audit was never presented to Parliament or for independent review. So they were, Guy Joseph and Alan Shas, they were a law unto themselves. Now people, tell me, help me. Y'all should be buying the coffees in loads, because let me tell you, you will never get another thinker, another powerful person like So-So who stick to her guns on the side of truth. I have no time to lie on people. I have no time for this. So why wasn't there an independent review? And Mr. John Peters is very correct. He is saying that the technical audit that was commissioned by the former Minister of Economic Affairs, Guy Joseph, right? The people who did the technical review, they never built a hospital. And he was on my show, Guy Joseph, quoting certain sections in the technical review like it's gospel. My Lord and my God. I will honestly say to you, I don't know why people say so much untruth. Let's move on to myth 3. The third myth is that the management of phase 1 by the project management unit and the consultant was plausible. This is not so. The management was poor. The performance of the consultant was not acceptable in my view. Dr. Kenny Anthony should have acted more decisively and held the project team to a higher level of accountability. I totally agree with Mr. Peters, because I have already showed in my last show, I showed a documentary where Dr. Anthony did appear weak in not overseeing and holding these people to a higher standard. Had Dr. Anthony done that, that hospital could have been finished. So accountability. And this is what Dr. Anthony should have done. And I totally agree. Now you see why I am leaning towards the truth, because look at how John Peters is unbiased in his review. Let us go to myth 4. The fourth myth to be debunked is that the reason why 2 structures were demolished on site during the reign of the last UWP administration was due to structural failure. And yes, Guy Joseph came on my show, on my Lies and Dishes show, saying it had to be demolished. We cannot, and I'm going to be clear, we cannot allow this to continue in our country. And I'm really hoping that St. Jude would finally be completed, because St. Jude was clearly a Ponzi scheme. Hooligans! Now, okay, this is also not true. The 2 buildings demolished were in the way of the new structures and were demolished solely for the purpose of creating space for new works. I fully support the policy that no building on the St. Jude site should be demolished or abandoned. And based on what they were saying, the Guy and Alan, they were saying like Philip J. Pierre should break down this building. But I listened, like I say, I researched and I listened to some of the stuff John Peters was saying. He said if you need 6 feet of space and you have 5 feet of space, why break down that building for you to go and build something that is going to cost you millions? So you actually losing instead of gaining. I want the people of St. Lucia to start thinking St. Lucia. You all need to go to bed tonight, pray, and ask God to change your mind, your heart to think country. We cannot continue to be the laughingstock of the world. So, okay, so however, the work must be done in stages. This is what Mr. Peters is saying. Stage 1 should be the phase 1 buildings and 2 of the 3 buildings constructed by the last administration, dialysis and physiotherapy. Then stage 2 should be the completion of the new wing into a specialized facility that services the entire country. Now let me tell you, the lies and the deceit is what I cannot take and I will not take. Many people stay in bad relationship or bad business relationship because they are afraid to say what you're doing is wrong. And I'm not afraid to tell the last administration, Guy and Alan Shasney, that you did wrong. You should have continued what was there and for the people of St. Lucia to have a hospital. And what really boggles my mind, it is unfair. It is unfair to the new Prime Minister of St. Lucia. This is why I tell you all, I am a fair person. I'm an honest person. I call a spade a spade. You know, when we all campaigning for the people we think that should win, we should do it on honesty. And I am in total agreement with Philip J. Pierre right now to try to use what is there, because it was very dishonest to say. And as you see in Myth 1, where Alan and Guy Joseph stated that as the new structure stands, the new St. Jude's, it would take only 6 months. Now, if you are thinking, because I hope you're sharing the live, tagging people, let them come hear the truth. If you are a thinker, and this is why I believe some people, I believe some people who were against me because of speaking the truth, I think a lot of people have taken 10 steps backwards and start reevaluating things. I can see it. They start reevaluating things. Let me just give you one pointer. If they claimed, Alan Shasta and Guy Joseph claimed that it would take the Prime Minister, the new Prime Minister, the new administration, if it would take them 6 months to complete it, stay with me, days before election, why are you trying to sign an agreement with a client, with a company for $70 million days before election? However, it was stalled because a senior public official realized something was wrong and took that document to the Attorney General. The Attorney General, I tilt my heart towards you for listening to that senior public official and stalling this agreement. This senior public official and the Attorney General actually prevented St. Lucia from going into a further debt of $70 million. So people, you are being brainwashed to not think. I am a thinker and people cannot fool me. I research a lot. When the facts are there, I go with the facts. You can't go wrong with facts. Now, think about it. If you are asking Guy Joseph, Alan Shasta is asking Philip J. Pierre to complete the hospital in 6 months, where is the money you left for them to complete the hospital in 6 months? Where days before election, you were scouring around the place trying to secure a deal with another person, trying to sign $70 million and to pay off that $70 million within a year. And if you, as a government, defaulted on payment when they send the invoice monthly, you would be charged 1% per day, costing the taxpayers of St. Lucia millions of dollars. People of St. Lucia, what is going on in our country? Are we not thinking? We are fighting against each other. We are tearing down each other while our country continues to sink. We are not clamoring for accountability and transparency. We are not clamoring for wages. We're not clamoring for the right things, but we want to tear down people for who? When we do that, these politicians are happy. Their pockets are filled. Their pockets are filled. So Philip J. Pierre, when he said that he was going to move into, start dealing with the old hospital, I was like, is he mad? Because I believe Alan Shasta and Guy Joseph, I believe what they were saying was true, but it was not true. The evidence by a qualified engineer, the evidence presented to us is like, what were they thinking? Like, what were they thinking? We cannot allow, you'll have to think. And St. Lucians, this is why my show is called Think, for you to think, to think, to think. You have to think. Now I'm going to show you a video. I am going to show you a video of when the fire started. People, it is a shame. People, say this, I don't even know what to say. This is why I tell you my show is different. My show is for you to think. My show for me is for me to present the facts to you and to think. Right? It's to be balanced. It's to be balanced to the current government and balanced to the opposition. Right now, everything is helter-skelter. Nothing is balanced because right now, we need to have St. Jude Hospital operation. So please take a look at this video.
The main medical facility in the south was gutted by a ferocious blaze early Wednesday morning. St. Jude's Hospital surgical ward and the operating theater was completely devastated. One of the security guard on duty, Lawrence Sonny, says he noticed the AC unit on fire.
And the AC unit was on fire, so I went to the ward and pits. I took out all the children on the ward. I went to the top surgical ward and make every patient come out. And then the place was already on fire, so I could not do anything else but help the patient to come out. And I left some of them inside, but I could not do anything. The place was blackout.
Assistant Divisional Officer Jean of the Southern Division says the fire service was hampered initially by water.
It's a little premature, to make any pronouncement on that fire. Trust me. Although we had some problems with the water initially, but we seem to be getting the water situation under control. But as to the cause and anything, I think it's premature to make any pronouncement on that.
Pius Benjamin is the disaster coordinator at St. Jude's Hospital. He says most of the patients were evacuated and transported to Campus B.
Operations are they are in progress right now. The fire has been contained. We have taken some of the patients. In fact, most of the patients, we have ferried them down to Campus B. At this point in time, we have nurses and doctors down at Campus B as well as other helpers, auxiliary helpers, trying to get the patients comfortable as much as possible. We are trying to get the most important supplies down to Campus B. And our two main objectives right now is patient accountability and ferrying all our equipment and whatever we can salvage down to Campus B at this point in time.
Prime Minister Stephenson King, Internal Security Minister Guy Mills and other officials made a preliminary assessment of the wing that was destroyed to give them an indication of the extent of the destruction.
Too early to indicate anything in detail. But certainly we are here, and it means that all hands on deck, and we will do all in our power to get the situation under control.
Okay, I'm certain that you have had a chat with management of St. Jude's. What came out of that discussion?
The discussion generally, and it is really one that must be done very early, is to have a situation analysis of the current status here. And they were able to give me a clear indication of the census, the numbers at the institution, accounting for patients, where they are, and hopefully by 6 o'clock in the morning we'll be able to give in detail an account of every patient which was housed at the institution.
It is reported that 2 charred bodies were identified. 1 patient died on the way to Castries. Desmond Collymore, HTS News, Channel 4.
Now, my people, since 2009, we haven't had a hospital. And I think, as a public figure myself, having my show speaking, I owed the explanation to, I felt compelled to come and clear the air. Because what was being said on my show and with thousands viewing and everything were untruths. Talking about the hospital could be completed in 6 months. And I have shown you that there was no money to complete the hospital. Because if there was money to complete the hospital, St. Jude Hospital, in 6 months, why did you try to sign that deal? And this is how you have to think, my sweet people. This is how you have to. We need, it's a crying shame. It is bordering on embarrassment for us as a people. Foreigners looking from the outside, looking in, are asking, are St. Lucians okay to be accepting that? So Alan Shastney, Guy Joseph have came on my show and say all the airheaded things you could think of. Right now, we are left with 100 million plus monstrosity of a building right? Where Mr. John Peters have said, imagine you build you build a structure 100 million plus. And John Peters also said, that's just part of the information I give you. He also said, out of all the buildings in the new buildings that Alan Shastney and Guy built, there is not a room that if you have a busted toe, that you can get a dressing on. This cannot be right. And for you to support this as a citizen, it's not right. So where I was blaming King, Kenny, and saying, oh, Guy and Alan Shastney were the best, they did the best. No, they did even worse. They did even worse. We have a monstrosity. We have a monstrosity of $100 million sitting at St. Jude's doing us. That's what it's doing us. My God, I'm speaking to you, but it is hurtful. It is hurtful. The lies and deceit cannot continue. This is why you have to think. This is why you have to think. And I'm going to read myth 1 for you again. And people want me to believe untruth. One thing I do not like is anybody lying to me. And if I was one there supporting, and I was supporting something that's not right, excuse me, supporting something that's not right, I have to come and make it right with the people who listen to it. It's my responsibility. And myth 1, the most recent myth that has been espoused by 2 former government ministers, Alan Shastney and Guy Joseph, is that the unfinished structures started by the last administration, meaning the monstrosity they built, only required 6 months to be completed. This is simply not true. And the sad reality, and this is from Mr. John Peters, and like I say, he has no reason to lie. A civil engineer, what gain, what he wants to gain from lying. And the sad reality is that both former ministers are fully aware of this. Why proclaim these travesties of truth? And people are gullible, believing it. We were gullible because they were there. I have my book, I have the report. How can a technical audit be done by an inexperienced firm, a consultant firm or whatever, that has never built a hospital and paid $800,000, never got an independent review? So what do you want the people of St. Lucia to believe? And they operated above the law. They were the law, because what we fail to realize is that there were 6 opposition members at the time. The report should have been presented. The report should have been reviewed by them. The report should have been debated. But no, we cannot love politicians and hate ourselves and hate our country. You got to share this live and tag your friends, because let me tell you, Great thinkers never stay in a box. We explode the box. Great thinkers never stay in a box. We explode the box. And this is why many people cannot understand my thinking, because you got to present truth to me. Now, Mr. Philip J. Pierre has a task on his hands, and I understood he said that in the coming days or weeks or whatever, he's going to give his plans concerning St. Jude. And they'll use the size of the door, the last administration. You cannot pass here, you cannot pass there. But we are a broke country. And you went to bill a monstrosity of $100 million. And we have nothing. And then before election, you're trying to squeeze in a deal for $70 million. For what? Who benefited from this? Now, another thing. Like I say, I like to err on the side of truth, not lies. I don't do that. All the contracts and stuff that was stopped, it was deserving to be stopped. Because, and I will tell you, before I was against them, what you'll stopping the people go, because I thought these two men knew what they're doing. They didn't know what they were doing. Because I agree. Right now, I am holding Philip J. Pierre in high regard. And you know why? Because he said, if any of his ministers are involved in anything that's not right, they will suffer the consequences of the special prosecutor. That's the way to go. We all have to be accountable for our action. You work in a firm, you're doing accounting. You don't embezzle the people's money and send the people's money to your account. So this is what I want to understand. If days before election you want to sign an agreement with a client for $70 million, Philip J. Pierre, Prime Minister of St. Lucia, have every right to review every contract. Now, when Honorable Philip J. Pierre was talking in the House, Honorable Alan Chasney never stood up to debunk anything. He never stood up on a point of order to say, I need to look into this, I need to change it. He never stood up on a point of order. My people, y'all need to open your eyes to think. Many people will not agree with me. They want me to sing one narrative. I'm singing the narrative for all St. Lucians, because we each are our brother's keeper. Because what you fail to realize, my people, politicians will come, politicians will go. But we are still here as a people. We have to work together as a people. We have to think as a people. Because listen, if we think as a people and we say to this government, do what is right, all of us happy, you know. But if we just continue fighting with each other without thinking, what do you think is going to happen? This is the life you have to share. And not berating people, not fighting down people, not slandering people. As I've always said, I do not go for people, I go for the sharks. I go for those who have to make the difference in our lives to make us better. So people, basically, we're back to 2009. People, we're back to 2009. We're back to square one, 2009, from King time. It is a sad, sad, sad state of affairs. It is a sad state of affairs. And St. Lucia will become better. St. Lucia will become powerful and even more beautiful when the people can say, hey, I don't hate you or anything, but what you did is wrong and I cannot accept it. And you learn to accept, okay, I did something wrong and fine. But people are painting politicians like gods. I will never do that. My only one God is up here that I've never seen, but I live and I move and I believe, I breathe in him. This is the only person we're supposed to support. You gotta think. And this is why I tell you my show is different. They will run away from it because, as long as you are pricking people's brains to think, they don't like it because it's too much effort. It's less effort believing untruths, believing lies and deceit. And another point I want to bring towards you. If you said that the hospital, Guy Joseph Allen Shah said that the hospital was supposed to be completed in 6 months. Why days before election you wanted to pay an architect $23 million in that contract for architectural works? Didn't the whole monstrosity have architectural design? So this is where I'm telling you, I'm very investigative in what I'm doing. This is where I believe Mr. Peters 100% in what he said about breaking down buildings that are not supposed to be broken down. This is total madness. I hope you are listening. I hope you will go tonight and discuss with your friends. Discuss with your people. It doesn't matter, people. It doesn't matter what your political affiliation have nothing to do with me. I care about our country. And yes, if I said something that's wrong, whereas I was putting a lot of pressure on Philip J. Pierre, and now I have seen the light, I have to come and make it right. And this is the difference between me and many of you. I will not stay in the soup and, dirty the soup. I will come and make sure the soup have pumpkins, carrot, potatoes, and all the good things. My people, I have given you a lot to think about. Share the life. Send it to your friends. If some of y'all, I know some of y'all do not want to be bullied and victimized. Y'all cannot share it. Send it in WhatsApp for your friends to see. Send it in Messenger. I am a thinker. I have always been a thinker. Let me tell you something. This is nothing new. This is nothing new for me to be a thinker. When facts come to me and you tell me something else, I have to come and clear the air, because my credibility means everything. Let us take care of Fair Helen. Not politicians. Politicians and go. Let us take care of us. Let us stop this tribalism and think for ourselves. Let us stop this tribalism. I have given you enough food, and this is what my show is about: food. We speak on all topics. St. Jude is a very important topic, and this is why I had to speak on this tonight. So, I gave you a lot. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on Thursday. And always remember to think.